Hello, y'all. It is time to breathe again on the latest BOFA Sports Webcast, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I am Charles Taylor, and of course, I got Patrick Brackett with me. And all right, so hey, let's just jump right into it. Let's review these games. I already know where we're going to start. Very painful for me. Go ahead, Patrick.
So we're starting with the Texas-Georgia game.
It might as well, yes.
Might as well. Okay. Hey, look, I'll say this. Win or lose, Texas was getting in. We knew that. And I know we're going to go over the bracket here in just a minute anyway. But win or lose, we knew Texas was going to get in. What I was surprised about is that we talked about how Texas learned lessons. I kind of feel like they didn't. I kind of feel like there was certain things that they learned, and then there's certain things that they just it kind of seemed like they just disregarded. For example, if you knew what Georgia was, if you knew what Georgia was bringing in the second game, especially with a pass rush. Now, Georgia didn't pass rush like they did in the first game, but Ewers had time to throw the ball a little more in the second game, in this playoff game, than he did in the first one. But they still didn't stop the pass rush. And I was like, why are they not throwing somebody back there to help block Ewers? I was really kind of surprised with that on the offense. Now, don't get me wrong. In the first half, they moved the ball. How they only scored 6 points was beyond me. I get it. I understand how they had the 2 field goals that they missed, and then the picks. I mean, I get what was but how do you not score more points when literally Georgia's offense couldn't move anything? That first half was horrendous. I mean, we come in the second half, and our backup quarterback, which I have been preaching we need to be putting in since the Alabama game, he comes in, and in his first drive, Georgia has more yards in the first drive of the second half than all the entire first half. So Texas figured out something on defense. I don't know what they were doing on offense. That was just mind-blowing to me, that it was just like, and Georgia kept getting beat by the same play, the same exact play. Wide receiver rolls out, cuts over, Ewers throws. Wide receiver. And it was just sideline, and they picked Georgia apart doing that. And then second half, didn't even do it. I was like, don't get me wrong. Texas played much better this game than they did the first one. But there was a lot of things where I was just like, it didn't seem like they were coming out ready to beat Georgia. You know what I mean?
Kirby Smart is a very good coach, and the same things that you would think Steve Sarkisian would know, would make adjustments with. Kirby Smart's a good defensive coach. He's a good chess master there too. So what I think happened is, yes, Georgia did not play that well in the first half, but what they did was bend but don't break. We moved the ball in between the 20s. When we got into the red zone, it was a combination of us not running the ball well, because y'all stuffed our running game for the most part again.
Kept y'all very one-dimensional.
And Georgia was able to make plays in the secondary to keep us with having to attempt field goals. Quinn Ewers, to me, for whatever reason, when we need that money play, when we need that money throw, that is 50-50 to me. I mean, he's not really, he hasn't shown to be that clutch player. Like when you need that drive, when you get an opportunity, so for an example, y'all are up 16-13. You got that interception coming off that blitz on Gunner. And
which was horrendous. Like,
hey, you just want to see
throwing at.
Yeah, I don't have no idea.
Oh my God. I was like, dude, is he colorblind? Because like I was sitting here, I was like, oh, Gunner threw for us. Gunner threw for us. I was like, I've been preaching your I was so bad. I was like, I don't even know what he's throwing at.
So when that happened, Quinn Ewers has a chance. There's a chance to win the SEC championship, drive down the field, see if we can get it done. Same thing, Patrick gets to the red zone, it's a bog down. Can't make that throw. Georgia's defense had a lot to do with that. And I just think right now, the line of scrimmage for Georgia, it's just a little bit better than us right now. Now, if we are able to get another chance, if we somehow meet each other in the national championship game, then maybe third time's the charm. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of business we got to take care of first before we get there. But right now, Patrick, I just think Georgia's line of scrimmage, offensive, defensive lines, just a little bit better. Pass protection, yeah, he had some time, but he also got sacked like 5 or 6 times as well. Yeah. Georgia was getting after him. And then on defense, Trevor Etienne, man, he kind of gashed us with those good runs, but these were smash mouth runs. The touchdown, that was nothing but up the middle.
Oh, yeah. And he carried 3 Longhorns with him. Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
That was we're going to finish this and end this. So that's what I would say, Patrick. I mean, yes, what I would have liked to see, I will say this. I would have liked to see Arch Manning come in a little bit more, whether it was just for a change of pace, whether it was just to run some more like run pass options, something like that. But what I think Sark was thinking was we can't run the ball consistent enough. And unless he was going to call a throw somewhere with Arch, Georgia was going to be all over that. And then we were going to have negative plays. So I think that was kind of that chess match that was going on between the two coaches. And Kirby Smart, for the most part, I think was just a step ahead in a lot of aspects. So I give y'all all the credit there. Yes, I'm upset that our kicker can't kick. But Aaron, he said no Bama in playoffs. We're gonna get to that. But no, I just give y'all all the credit though, Patrick. I mean, it was a back and forth game. I just felt like it was a rock fight, and y'all landed the last knockout blow. That's how I feel.
I mean, dude, first time in SEC history we go into overtime, and it takes Texas to get us there. Hey, look, I'm glad the Bulldogs won. Obviously, you know that. I'm a huge Bulldog fan for years. So I'm glad we won. I was pacing around that entire game.
I was chilling on the couch, man, because I knew it was just going to be that game, man. Like I was already prepared. Like, all right, man, we're not blowing out Georgia. So let's just get that out of our head. That's not happening. This is going to be 4 quarters. I feel we have gotten better, like you said, we have gotten better, but not to the point where we're just going to come in here and win this game 14-14. No, dude, y'all Georgia, man, y'all gonna show up, dude.
And it's funny because like when Texas and Oklahoma comes to the SEC, it's a lot of Texas and Oklahoma fans going, "Oh yeah, we about to come in and run the SEC," and we're like, "Calm down."
Yeah.
Let's calm down a little bit, because this is not the Big 12. So pump your brakes. We do play defense here. Just saying, we do play defense here. So let's calm down just a bit. You know, I mean, but I will say this: I give Texas and Oklahoma a lot of credit, man. Like Texas is in the playoffs. That's a huge thing because coming into that rigorous SEC schedule that y'all played in and lost 2 games, both of them to Georgia, that's pretty dang good, dude. You know, and Oklahoma went 6-6. So look, I'm proud of both of the teams. I'm glad they represented because hell, Kentucky couldn't. They've been here for years. Vanderbilt even stepped up, dude. I'm like, come on. But it's like I was glad to see that Texas did get as far as they did with making it to an SEC championship or to an SEC game their first year. But there was a lot of that stuff this year. Like, I mean, what Oregon did, you know. But I know we'll get into them in just a second. But nah, man, I enjoyed the game. Like I said, you know how I am, dude. I'm always pacing, especially on like big games like that. And just getting to watch that and all the Texas fans going, okay. SEC, no joke. Okay. We need to regroup and figure that out. And hey, look, that's all we ask. Don't come in here thinking you're going to kill every team out here. Calm down. Stark had y'all prepared every single week, so that's the reason why y'all are successful. And
now that's the vast majority of Longhorn fans, not this one.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I've known you for 100 years, so I know how you are. It's just those, you know, there's a few fans out there that, you know, like to call me and, you know, I'm gonna kick your ass, and I'm like, we know we're Georgia, right?
Hey, just so you know, Patrick, before we get a little bit into the bracket, I'm gonna give a slight rant. Yes, I'm gonna rant just a little.
You should let it out.
All right, thanks. But all right, so with the SEC championship there, I mean, yeah, that ended up being pretty much I was gonna say, we got 2 candidates for the game of the week. Of course, this is the SEC championship game, and then the ACC championship game turned into a real good game too.
Yeah, it did. That was a good game, man. I was like, I mean, look, I picked the ponies. To win, and
you both did.
They represented, dude. Like for SMU to come where they came from, they were in the what conference were they in before ACC?
The American Athletic.
Yep. The AAC. That's
yeah.
Right. Okay, so for them to come from that conference with, I mean, I don't want to say no talent, but it's not a Power 5 conference, right?
Yeah.
It's a very easier schedule. For them to step into the ACC and do what they did this year, dude, hats off. I salute them because that was awesome that they were able to do what they did. And on top of that, what was their 2 losses?
Clemson and BYU.
BYU and Clemson. Okay. BYU, okay. That's a bad loss. In retrospect, hindsight's 2020. We all know that was a bad loss for them. They shouldn't have lost that game.
BYU had 2 losses too. They just didn't get into their championship game.
Yeah. But to lose your second game and fight Clemson, who has won 8 of 10 ACC championships in the past 10 years. I mean, something crazy like that. Mm-hmm. And to take them, I mean, all the way to 3 seconds left to kick a field goal, a 51-yard field goal at that?
Like a 56.
56, okay. To take Clemson that far and push them to have to win a game like that speaks volumes for SMU. It's like you said about Georgia, bend but don't break. They said, dude, Clemson bit the crap out of them. I mean, like this. And SMU was like, stayed course, played the ball, ran it, threw it when they needed to throw it, ran it when they needed to throw it. And at the end of the game, they had a chance. That's all you can ask. That's all you can ask. They had a chance. So I salute SMU. My personal opinion, I am 100% in agreement to the tournament. I love where everybody's seated. It makes sense. I mean, and I'm not saying that because Georgia has the setups they have. It was placed in. Everybody knew where everybody knew where the placement was going to be. Nobody knew where they were going to be. It is what it is at that point. I know you hate that saying, but it is. Can't help it. I think they got it right, dude. I do. I think they got it right. I think they got it right with SMU getting in and not Alabama.
And you got let's see, Oregon took care of their business against Penn State.
Hey, I do want to say something about that game. Mm-hmm. Kudos to Penn State for at least fighting. Normally they don't fight like that. And it was refreshing to see them fight. They didn't go down because it was a big game. They fought. So kudos to them. I loved it.
They actually score points against everybody and actually act like they played football before against everybody except Ohio State. I don't know what that is. I have no idea why they go in with that super ultra conservative game plan on both sides of the ball against Ohio State, but against everybody else, it's like, hey, let's air it out. They knew they were going to have to score. They were going to beat Oregon. They didn't score enough, but 37 points, not a bad showing.
No, not a bad showing. I liked it because they fought. That's what I wanted to see.
And Arizona State destroyed Iowa State. I mean,
that running back was just on fire, dude.
So, I mean,
but you have 170 rushing yards.
Yeah, I mean, Scatteraboo had all kind of yards, like receiving too. So,
yeah, I think he had like well over 250 yards altogether. 3 touchdowns.
So he did his thing, and then Arizona State, just one of those teams. They're peaking at the right time. Really, really dangerous when you have a team who has won 5-6 in a row coming in like that on a heater in this type of scenario. Be interesting to see how they come out in their first game since they got one of those buys too. Yeah. And then the other 2 championship games, you have. You talk about the Army one beating Tulane. They smashed Tulane. That's pretty funny.
They smashed them, and I just went off. I wanted to pick them. That's it. I just wanted to pick them because I ain't never going to get the chance again. So.
Patrick's like, I'm never going to pick an academy again. Let's just go ahead and pick Army.
I'm never going to get the chance. I mean, like Army, Navy, and Air Force are never going to be in that position. Never. Army was in that position. I'm like, I'm going for it.
Picking it, yeah.
Roll the dice, let them have it. I was fully expected. Like I told you, man, I was fully expected to lose that game. And then they came out with it.
Hey, yeah, should have taken those to Vegas. And then
could have, dude. They were Vegas had Army getting their butts whipped.
And then Boise State handled UNLV 21-7. I thought, and it's not that UNLV didn't put up a fight. The Boise State team, they came out and kind of handled business. Their defense, especially their secondary, was really physical with UNLV's receivers. And then Boise State has Ashton Genty, and he broke off a 75-yard touchdown run. And
on his way to 210 rushing yards.
Yeah. And so,
what is he, like 112 yards away from breaking Barry Sanders' record?
Yeah.
In a single season. So, hey, kudos to him, man. He's got one more. He's got another game to do it in, and he's got 3 weeks to rest. So,
yeah. And so, with this being conference championship game weekend, we just witnessed And then we're about to go over and look at some of these things with the bracket, and then we're going to play a game here. But before we do that, let's give Patrick his props because he's got the 2-game lead now from those picks. The ones where he got Army, of course.
People hate Georgia Bulldog fans is because we always bark.
So of course he picked Georgia to win over Texas. Got that one, and then the we're just gonna throw Army out there, and he got that one. So his record over the week was 5-1 with the overall record now of 54-24, and I'm at 52-26.
Dude, look at those records, man.
I know, pretty good.
ESPN ain't doing that.
And so,
I'm going to say it every week. ESPN is not doing that. Look at that. 28 and 30 games over 500.
So we are going into the postseason picks, but we won't do those until next week because those games don't start till the 20th. But right now, Patrick does have a 2-game lead on me based off of last week's results, and we still haven't gotten an exact score yet. We continue to be like 4 or 5 points away.
Dude, we have been like right there. How many did we have last year? Didn't we have like a couple? Like me and you both picked a couple of them last year, didn't we?
I think we did. Yep. Just
it's hard.
Yeah, we just haven't been able to hit one. Yeah, as close as we've
right
been.
There.
Yeah. So right now, yeah. So Patrick's got that 2-game lead. I gotta see. I don't have a lot of opportunities left with the playoffs coming up, but still in there. We'll see if we can even this thing out starting next week. So, before we look at this bracket a little bit, I had a slight little rant, just a slight rant.
And did you know rant? I thought you did the rant.
No.
Not yet. Okay.
No.
Okay. You gonna rant about Army and Navy?
No.
Isn't it this weekend?
Yeah, that is this weekend, and that's what I'm saying. Like that game should be actually pretty good.
Yeah, Army will probably win.
yeah, I'm thinking Army too. But I won't go against Army again. No,
don't. Hey, don't.
But here's my slight rant, or it might be a full rant. We'll just see how it goes. But this is talking to a couple of these fan bases here. One is Alabama's, the others is Ohio State. I'll get on Ohio State in a minute. But for the Alabama fans, I have seen a lot. Not all Alabama fans, and not all Ohio State fans, but I have seen a lot of shots being taken at other teams from Alabama fan bases. We got a shot from a few of the Alabama fans, but everyone takes shots at Texas. Like, whatever. I like this.
Everybody does.
And so, but
hey, did you notice? I do got to say this during that SEC game. You know how many Georgia Bulldog players did horns down?
Oh, none.
Mm. Welcome to the real SEC. Hey, look, when you get those teams like that, it's all about handling business. We don't care about no horns down. All we care about is the W.
Yeah, just play. Yep.
So welcome to the real SEC.
All right, I appreciate it. I would have liked that championship, but I'll take the welcome. It's okay.
Hey, welcome. We ain't letting you have, not in your first year. No.
So
maybe in your second, not in your first.
So, but the Alabama fans, they were taking shot at schedules, and it's amazing to me, how fan bases, people in general, life, whatever. It is amazing to me how people will go and try to point out flaws on somebody else or talk about all the good stuff they do without pointing out some of those flaws that they have. But here's where I'm going with this with the Alabama fans. So you mean to tell me You're gonna come in here. You're gonna have this record. You're 3-1 or whatever it was against top 10 or top 25 opponents, and you got this 9-3 schedule playing in the SEC, or 9-3 record playing in the SEC. But when it comes to us, you want to say, "Oh, well, their schedule wasn't that strong." Wait a minute, we play in the same conference. So are you gonna sit here and try to tell me, "Oh man, the SEC toughest conference in football"? But when it comes to our schedule, oh no, we didn't play anybody. I know something we did.
Wait, hold up. What?
Yeah, exactly. That makes no sense.
Coming from Alabama fans?
Yes,
you know, the same ones that played Mercer.
Yeah. So exactly. But here's something coming back to those flaws that Alabama fans seem to forget. I know something we did that Alabama did not do. We beat Vandy and we beat Oklahoma. Where's that at in Alabama's or these fans' point, these arguments? Funny how that gets left out. So if Bama
so what was Texas's out of conference schedule?
Well, so the out of conference schedule was Colorado State, Michigan.
Hold up.
Yeah. UTSA, and who else did we play? It's escaping me right now. Oh, I think Louisiana Monroe was our other one. Yes.
Okay. And Alabama had Mercer,
Wisconsin,
Nebraska. They had Wisconsin, and then they had. Let's look it up.
They played South Florida and Western Kentucky.
South Florida.
Yep, South Florida. Yes, and so, but this was. But Patrick, it wasn't even about the non-conference schedule. This was them taking a shot at our SEC schedule, and that's what I'm saying. Like
you have no control of that.
Yep. So, but either the SEC is the toughest conference in football, or it's not that tough. It's one or the other, because if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna knock our schedule for quote unquote not being so tough, although we beat Vandy and Oklahoma, something that Alabama didn't do. And stop, don't sit here and try to poo-poo on other people when the simple fact remains you did not handle the business that should have been handled. You should not have lost that game to Oklahoma. And not only did they lose that game, Patrick, they got throttled. They got destroyed in that game. And Vandy, we know how Vandy has improved, but when Alabama played them, they were coming off of the win over y'all. They were the number one team in the nation. Vandy was unranked at that time.
Yep.
So go ahead, go to y'all closet, clean y'all skeletons out before you want to try to go and clean out all bars, everyone else's closet. Give me a break with that. Same thing with Ohio State fans. So Ohio State, and I know you got something to say, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
But the Ohio State thing, same thing. I seen somebody through one of these pages on Facebook talking about, Texas didn't play anybody, and our road going through the playoffs, it looks a lot tougher because we got to play Oregon if we're able to beat Tennessee. Well, you know what you need to do, Ohio State? How about you beat Michigan? Oh, I know someone who beat Michigan, though. I know we beat Michigan. So apparently y'all couldn't, knowing Michigan was not what they have been the last few years. This was a 6-5 football team when Ohio State played them, and they could not beat them at home. We went to Ann Arbor and beat Michigan. So again, take care of your stuff before you want to start poo-pooing on other people's schedules, making excuses for why things didn't work out the way you did. No, you didn't handle the business. Maybe if you beat Michigan, get that rematch with Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. You might beat Oregon, and where are they sitting at that point? Probably number one. They're probably the number one seed. So miss me with that. You're sitting at number 8. Good luck with Tennessee. So stop it. Like that gets on my nerves. And Patrick, we are not just about sports. It is about life. It is about everything else that comes with life. And the stuff that you see with these people making the arguments with sports, it's the same thing you see in life. And it's just pathetic if people want to come on here and try to throw dirt on everybody else, knowing they got problems that they didn't deal with.
Yeah. Don't be mad at me because we're doing a webcast and you've been, I want to do one, and then you don't have the balls to get on here and do it. Shut up. Look, there's a lot of times, look, you've said it many times. Webcasts are easy to do. All you got to do is do it, right? Nobody wants to put their face on it. And this is the reason why, because if you're wrong, then you're gonna get blasted. Look, blast me, I don't give a crap. Hit me up when I'm wrong. But you better come correct, because if you leave me a hole, I'm on it, period. And I will tear you from limb to limb on it. Comment, right there, comment. Test it and see if you want to do it. Okay, so are you done? So can I say my
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to get that out.
So here's the deal. This is what I say, because I agree with you 100%. Don't do that. Don't do that. I will say this though. A lot of people are the concern. The comments I've been hearing is this. Well, the SEC only has 8 conference games, not 9. Okay. First of all, if you really want our strength of schedule to go up like that and nobody have a chance to get into the playoffs, by all means, keep rooting that on, because as soon as Georgia has to add another SEC game, strength of schedule just went up 10 times. Because who else are we going to add? Can't add many more people. And all it's going to do is get harder. So what are we going to do? Add LSU? Okay. Well, our strength of schedule went from 6 to 1. What's Florida going to do? Well, they can add Alabama. Okay, well, theirs just went from 17th to 2. What are you going to do?
And Florida had the number 1 schedule this year. That's
exactly. But that's what I don't understand. It's like, you want this, and then you're going to be mad when your team doesn't get in, because the top 12 teams is all going to be SEC based on strength of schedule. I'm sorry. That's what you wanted. If that's what you want, then by all means, let's do it. Here's the problem with that. None of those other conferences want the SEC to do that. Why? There's one reason why. Do you know why, Charles? Money. There's a lot of money that gets pumped into these other schools because that extra game that is not an SEC game gets pumped into them. That's an extra $1 million per game, literally $1 million. So now we're 16 deep. That is $16 million that is getting pumped in to other schools that really actually desperately need that money to help their organizations. So the SEC is like, you know what? Yeah, we need the break anyway, because our strength schedules are like top 25 all the time anyway. And we could use it. I mean, look, and I'm not saying this any disrespect to Oklahoma and Texas, but how often did y'all have a top 25 strength of schedule? It was very rare that y'all had it in the Big 12. Y'all might have had it a couple of times, but what was your strength of schedule this year? 19. Oh my God, how quick that changed. You see what I'm saying? So it irritates me. It irritates me because the things that I hear is that kind of crap. Don't wish for something, and when you get it, because it's going to happen, you're going to get mad that instead of only having 4 SEC teams in, you're going to have 9. Oh, well, Alabama lost 3 games. They shouldn't be in because Clemson only lost 2, but their strength of schedule sucked. Sorry. I'll take a 3-loss Alabama over a 2-loss Clemson every day, all day, every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? So calm down, everybody. Let's pump the brakes. Let the SEC do what they do, because it's $16+ million that's pumped into other schools to keep their organizations afloat, getting them profit money, helping them out, because they want to come in and they want to test themselves against real competition. So let that happen. And then if it doesn't, and the SEC decides to put up 9 conference games, don't be mad when they take 9 spots in the playoff. That's all I'm saying. There's my rant.
Well, Patrick, it's funny that you want to match a rant with the rant.
Well, you know I ran anyway. So. If you rant, all you're doing is open the can. And I'm gonna rant. You know I'm gonna rant. They're like, that's like, hey Patrick, I gotta rant. Fantastic. I do too.
even if we went into the show and you didn't have no rant, you was gonna be cool, and then you're like, wait, Charles got a rant. Oh, no, I got a rant. So
Everybody got a rant now.
Well, so that's so funny. With the playoffs being said, and like you said earlier, we'll go over those games, those first round games, next week. But let's play a quick little game, Patrick. So there was 4 teams that were kind of on that outside looking into the playoff. Of course, you had Alabama, you had Miami, you had Ole Miss, you had South Carolina. So,
can I point out something?
Yeah, go ahead.
3 of them were SEC jackwads.
So out of those,
my point exactly.
Yep. I do see your rant leads into other stuff. Great job.
See, hey, look, perfect transition. Charles, you're welcome.
So, out of those 4 teams, we're gonna ask, which one of those teams could have made more noise, I guess, in the playoff if they were able to get in. So we'll start with Alabama, since they were the kind of that first one left out. Patrick, we know the record, went over it. They were 9-3, and you have your quality wins. They beat Georgia, they beat South Carolina as well. But then we talked about those dirty losses they had too. The one good loss they had was at Tennessee. They did lose in Knoxville. Yeah. And of course, Tennessee is a playoff team. So if Bama was to get in, Patrick, how much of a shot? I guess on a scale of good shot, slight chance, or no chance, what do you give Bama if they were able to get in there?
Well, they would have been put at the 11th, which is where SMU is at, which actually puts them in a very good position to have to play Georgia. And I don't think Alabama wants to see Georgia again. I really don't, because that's not a 34-32 win. That's more like a 35-6 loss. Georgia ain't having that crap. Not again. We ain't having that crap again. I said it earlier.
41-34.
41-34. Okay. Well, it would have been 34-14 Georgia. Because I've said it in this show many times. I think Georgia didn't figure something out until the second half. And when they figured it out, it's just a little too late for them. I mean, so they laid that blueprint out. And if you look at what Georgia did in that second half, it was all about containing Milroe. So they left their linebackers to spy him out, and every time he tried to take off, the linebackers went and got him. Right? Okay. Now, with that being said, what did Vandy do? Same thing. That's the reason why Milroe couldn't get out there. It's the reason why they forced him to stay in the pocket and be a pocket passer, which actually is very misleading because the kid is not a pocket passer at all. He always makes his moves when he rolls out. It's just like Caleb Williams. He really is. And when that was made obvious to me, I'll tell you right now, even in a draft, I ain't picking that kid. I'm not. great player, and he will fit in somewhere, but in my scheme, he would never fit in because I need a quarterback that would be able to play in the pocket and roll. So after you did that, look at what look at what Tennessee did. They did the same thing. Left their linebackers to spy on him, and he couldn't roll. And they attacked him every time he rolled out. Guess what Oklahoma did? Same exact thing. Even with less personnel, that was what was crazy about it. Less personnel, and they still contained Milroe. Couldn't throw. And then they double teamed Williams all day long. And who does Milroe throw to? Williams. That's it. 30 passes, 29 of them go to Ryan. All right. So let's quadruple team him and don't worry about it. Okay. Anyway, all that being said, he would have been put in the 11th. I would have feel like they could take care of Penn State, but when they got to Georgia, I think they would have lost. So that's about where I would put them.
So what I think Milroe can throw in the pocket, whether it's consistent or not. That's the question.
Well,
and so
yeah, because he overthrows and underthrows everything.
And so I think that's the thing that kind of holds it back. I mean, a lot of teams who go in and play Alabama now will say, if we got to take something away, we cannot let Milroe run. And so, like you were saying, we'll go ahead and we'll force him to be in the pocket and have to make throws consistently for them to go down. I think Bama, so I would give them a slight opportunity, and it's not really because of where they would have been slotted. Yes, I would give them a very good chance to win at Penn State if they were going to be in that 11th spot. But Bama, it's just been an inconsistent team. Yeah. I know what the record says. I understand they're 9-3, but they have not played with the consistent defensive energy, let alone what Milroe's doing. They haven't played with that consistent defensive energy because there's been they've given up some huge plays this year too.
Oh yeah.
So
what was that team that threw like 400 yards on them?
Trying to think. Ole
Miss.
No, they didn't play Ole Miss this year. Well, Vandy came close.
Well, yeah, Vandy threw like 300. But there was a team that threw like 400 on them, I thought. I could be wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, South Carolina had some good yardage on them too when they played. They beat LSU pretty good, but I just think Bama has been just a little bit inconsistent, and the coaching, of course, it's not what it was. I mean, obviously, you don't have Nick Saban there, but I give them a slight chance.
I give them a slight chance.
What about Ole Miss?
No chance.
No chance.
No chance. I look, and I can't rely on Dart being consistent. He's like backyard Bo. Like if when things get hard, does he try to put the weight on his shoulders and try to win the world, try to win the game by himself, knowing that there's 10 other people on the field? I don't know. And plus, he's really inconsistent when throwing. Like he had to I had a couple of conversations where they're like, well, he did do pretty good against Georgia. No, he didn't.
No, that was Ole Miss's defense. That
Ole Miss ran for more yards than he passed for.
Yeah, and their defense too. Yeah, that
defense was swarming, dude.
Yeah,
they didn't let us run. They didn't let us pass. They didn't let us do crap. So that wasn't Dart. Dart, he might be worse than Beck.
So,
and that's.
That's pretty bad. I really don't have nothing to add to it. Because I don't give Ole Miss a chance really either. I think Dart, those interceptions he threw in that game in Florida was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I mean, there was one where it was I think it was like a pick six, and I don't remember seeing any Ole Miss jersey. It was nothing but a Florida jersey, and he was like.
And so, yeah, Yeah, I'm not a believer in Jackson Dart, and much like Bama, I think Ole Miss is they're inconsistent too, because you can get a game where you beat Georgia, they handled South Carolina too, up in Columbia, in South Carolina Stadium, they handled them too, and then you lose to Kentucky. And then Florida. Granted, Florida is improved, and I think there'll be something to mess with next year. But you got to win that game. You have to go in there and take care of business. And Ole Miss, too many times when you think they are turning that corner where they're going to be a legit, consistent threat, they just aren't that. They have some inexplicable performance, and I'm with you. I don't agree, or I agree with you there that I don't give them much of a shot. Or, and I'll go ahead, I'll do this one first. I don't give Miami a shot either. I think I give Miami absolutely positive.
Oh, that's bonus team right there. You giving the fans a bonus team. I don't give them either. Cam Ward, look, dude. How many is he at this point? He's just collecting helmets. How many schools he played for?
I think this is his third.
Okay, so yeah, he's collecting helmets. At this point, he's got to be collecting helmets. So I don't give him a chance because I don't think Cam Ward is that good of a quarterback. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, like, there's only a couple, and I say this very lightly because you know how I feel about Beck. I don't think he is that good of a quarterback. I think that he needs to have a quarterback coach that will explain the game to him a little more in depth where he can understand it. And once he does, like, I can see him being a top level quarterback. He's got the size for it. He's got the arm strength for it. He's got to get to this point where he can say, I have people around me. I'm going to let them play. Don't try to win the big game all the time. And then, and shorten that dang pass throw. Come on. Everybody knew you were going to get an elbow injury. Come on, dude. Throw the ball. Get rid of it. But
yeah, now you talk about a Caleb Williams. That's who Cam Ward reminds me of.
Yeah,
he's the guy. He wants to extend everything, roll on out, and then try to make some big play. And yeah, if you're able to make it, there's your splashy big play, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, did you see that? Oh, Cam Ward is so great." But then he tries to do the same thing. It may end in a sack. It may end in a pick, a fumble, something.
Yeah, it's always something. Well, I only think there's one actually out of the whole quarterback draft that's really probably going to go into the draft this year. I really only think there's one quarterback that's really better than Beck, and that's Oregon's quarterback, Gabriel. What's his name?
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. Okay, that's dude. He manages a game very well, like almost to perfection every single week. So I honestly, I think he's probably the best quarterback coming out. In my personal opinion, he's the best quarterback coming out of going into the draft this year. So, I mean, that's the only one I really would take over Beck. And at that point, I would really think about if I'm taking Beck, because I need to make sure I have a quarterback coach that's going to coach this kid up to a point where he can play at that top level. Because I mean, you know, I also had a couple of friends that were texting me after the game and going, seriously, dude, y'all throw Beck out there and you're shelving Gunner? Like, what's your problem? He's better. I was like, he just brings a different dynamic to the game. He really does. I mean, he's 5'11", dude. He can't throw anything over. He reminds me of a little old lady trying to drive and try to look over the dash. That's what he would. But man, he can run and he can take a hit. Obviously, you can see that. He can take a hit.
Yeah, I've seen that. I thought his head left with the helmet.
I was like, and everybody like, oh, that's target. And I was like, no, that was not.
That was a good hit.
Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't blame the refs for throwing the flag.
Of course.
You know, obviously you need to throw that flag. I get that part, but no. I was a clean hit. And Gunner got up and was like,
I'm all right. I'm
all right. And dude, he still had the ball. I was like, my God, dude, he's a Dude, he is mean. He's gonna be a mean. Ooh, I can't wait till next year. Get back out of there.
So Patrick, all right.
Sorry.
South the last team on that list. So we both give Miami no shot, of course. So what about South Carolina?
I give them a shot, especially with the way they've played these last 6 games, 7 games, or whatever their streak is. Beating Missouri, didn't they beat them? They beat them in South Carolina. They beat Texas A&M, and then they beat Clemson. I mean, yeah, I give them a shot, especially with Shane Beamer, dude. You know I like Shane Beamer.
Yes. So Aaron says that, yeah. So South Carolina, man, I'm with you. I do give them the best shot out of those 4 because they were playing the best. They were peaking. They were just like what we said with Arizona State, just peaking at the right time. They were able to find their groove on offense with Sellers and Sanders, the running back, and their defense. Their defensive line, those defensive ends they have, some of the best in the nation. Mm-hmm. And
they did what Alabama couldn't do. Beat Vandy at home.
It's funny. See, Bama, don't feel good when you get shots taken at you, huh? I want to come running.
Hey, I do.
These strays.
Well, I'm pulling.
But yeah, I don't think there was a lot of teams. I don't think we're trying to see South Carolina right now either.
And I just looked at it and I was like, they also didn't beat Oklahoma at home either.
There you go. Yes, because South Carolina did beat Oklahoma too. Yes, they did.
At home. Yeah, in Oklahoma, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the thing. We just got to look at the whole body of work. Don't just pick and choose these parts that's going to make you look good. Oh no, you look at all that. Let's uncover that sheet.
Yeah. That's the thing. Is Alabama don't want to take that sheet off.
Yeah, let's open that closet. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I give South Carolina. I would have gave them a legit shot to go through it. Well, I think they were playing that good to where they could possibly win everything, win it all. Now, if they get there or not, of course, that would have remained to be seen. But South Carolina was playing some very good
ball, and then to beat Clemson at Clemson again away. I mean, they're playing these hard teams
away.
Yeah, they're playing good. And in that game at Alabama, man, it was 27-25, dude. I mean, like, it's not like Alabama blew them out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So everybody calm down with Alabama's. South Carolina did something that Alabama couldn't do.
So, well, with that, Patrick, so we'll get into those games next week. And then we'll see how everything works with this Christmas schedule. Man, we've been on every Tuesday for at least the last 90 months. And so, it might be time. It might be time to take a Tuesday off, especially going into Christmas. So we'll see. But we'll be back here next week. So going into the NFL, look, all right, listen, we're excluding the Falcons. What caught your eye from last week?
We're on a 4-game losing streak.
Excluding the Falcons. What got your
freaking cousins, dude? Welcome to Atlanta.
Excluding the 0 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in the last 4 games. What caught your eye?
Well, Jacksonville got to win. I mean, hey, look, if Atlanta's not, let Jacksonville win, I guess. There was some really good games. I mean, that Detroit Green Bay game was really good. Detroit pulling that off, 31-34. That was a good game. The I don't even know. I don't know how New Orleans didn't score more than 14 points on the Giants, but
there's some teams who just
Hey,
they know how to lose.
yeah, yeah. Giants know how to lose, and New Orleans don't. I honestly think New Orleans won that game by default, honestly, because they screwed up more times. But the Giants find a way to lose, you know.
I'm sorry, Aaron, about the Cardinals. I know, I'm sorry. They Seattle right now has their number.
San Francisco won, baby. Yes. Texas may have lost, but San Francisco won, Charles.
Yeah, it's been a tough season over there for us too, but yeah, it does help that we beat the Bears.
How about the Rams beating the Bills, dude? That was a high scoring game. I was wondering if the defenses showed up, but apparently not.
No.
and then Cincinnati. How about them Bengals finally getting 5 wins and ending that 2-game win streak that the Cowboys had?
We're coming.
At home.
We're coming. That's what Michael Parsons was saying after a win over the Giants.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He sure did.
Oh, my God.
He sure did.
Oh, the boys are back, baby. Woo!
We're coming. We're coming.
They won on Thanksgiving Day, didn't they? Is that when they played the Giants?
Yeah.
So they got one home win in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And y'all are coming?
Yeah, we're coming.
Really? That's what I thought. Hey, you know.
So yeah.
And then the Chiefs having that field goal bounced in. I was like, God, it's like
they are catching.
They just catch the drop, man. I was like, I was watching the field goal post. It went like this.
Yeah.
They get all the drops, man. They get all the drops. That field goal post. Oh, it's going out.
Let's extend it.
Let's get it back in. There we go.
We got moving goalposts. We got the process right there on wheels. The wheels. Oh! Move it.
Like even the goalpost is in on their wins. Jeez.
Yeah, the Chiefs have been. Oh my gosh, they have caught just about every single break, and they have won literally every single way you could win a game.
Yeah, they won off of
field goal blocks,
field goals.
Yeah,
I mean everything. You name it, they've won off of it.
What? What are you looking forward to for this?
Oh God, let me pull the schedule up. Everybody, I thought it was funny when I was looking at that, and I was like, it looked like the field goal post swayed over just a little bit. I was like, is that for real? Did it really?
You got to gust the wind.
Gust
the wind, Joe.
I guess the Chiefs are God's team right there, man. Good job, Chiefs.
Where are you looking forward to this?
God, it cracks me up. What am I looking forward to?
Oh boy.
Hey, between the Jets and the Jaguars, somebody's gonna have 4 wins.
Oh hell no! They better not be on TV. I swear. The Jets better not be.
Sunday at 12. I'm sure they're on somewhere. I mean, they probably won't be because nobody's gonna watch that game. But
they don't need to be on no national TV games. Like no more. Can we stop with the charade?
Dallas might win. For one, they're not playing at home, and 2, they're playing Carolina.
I'm picking Carolina.
I would too. I'm picking Carolina to win that game.
Carolina's been playing some good ball. They almost beat the Chiefs. We knew that was going to happen.
Everybody almost beats the Chiefs, Charles. Come on.
Buffalo did.
That's their one loss.
Yeah, I know.
And honestly, Buffalo had something going in their favor to get that win too.
What's that?
I don't know, but I was just assuming they did.
No, but so the Panthers, I mean, they've been close. They almost, I know I'm about to say like 3 almostes here, but they almost beat the Chiefs. They almost beat the Bucks. They took the Bucks to overtime. And last week, they almost beat the Eagles. And if, oh boy, Leggett catches a pass, that might be a win.
Yeah.
Aaron's taking us back to last year. He said it should have beat Green Bay last year.
hey, look, it's really easy to figure out where Carolina was. They've only had 5 wins in the past 2 seasons, so we can name them all on one hand. So it's really not that. But we're good. Yeah. You know, a good game. Here's going to be a good game.
I would totally say they could beat the Cowboys, though. So,
oh yeah, I'm going to say they beat the Cowboys too. I would pick them to win that game. I just Cowboys. The only thing that would be in favor of the Cowboys is the fact they're not playing at home. That's the only favor they have, because they can't win at home.
No,
I was like, Jerry needs to just go ahead and blow that building up and play all away games. They have a better chance, because when they play in Dallas, they get whipped. Minus the Giants.
No, dude, they got it. You know that is money. But Jerry Jones is going to make sure he milks that money cow for everything.
Oh, yeah, because he's going to put Madonna and Taylor Swift and all those other people in that thing and get wins that way, because he ain't getting them from his Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's going to get wins somewhere else. Oh, God.
I'm gonna get wins somewhere else. Stop it, Patrick. What are you looking forward to?
Hey, dude, here's my game of the week right here. Here's my game of the week. Buffalo and Detroit, man. This is gonna be a good game right here. This is gonna be the game. This is gonna be the game of the week. And I mean, I honestly think the Arizona New England game is gonna be good.
Yes. The Steelers and Eagles is one that I think could be pretty good. There was one more.
Well, it's a Monday night game.
The Monday night games are horrendous. We got the Bears and Vikings, and no, we're not even gonna. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not.
We got interceptions in Las Vegas. Interceptions in Las Vegas. So I mean, it's just going to be it's going to be a free for all handoff. That's just Kirk Cousins throw interceptions all freaking day. Oh my God, I take that back. All night, Kirk Cousins is going to throw interceptions all night.
So, the Rams and Niners playing on Thursday night. That'll be I think that'll be a good game as well. I don't want you to get on no Falcons rants.
Stay away from it, because he ran it twice.
But I will say this before moving on from the NFL. There are certain teams that you're looking at right now, and you just have absolutely, positively no faith they're going to win, no matter how close they may come to doing it. The Giants are one of them. The Raiders are another one.
Well, hold on.
I would still think the Falcons to win. I'm sorry. The Raiders are a mess. It's close.
We'll see. We'll see. Because if the Raiders win, you want to talk about a rant next week? You might want to cancel that show. I'm just going to put that. I'm just throwing it out there. Well, I want to cancel that show. You'd be like, look, Falcons lost.
The rant will happen because we'll be back regardless. So if the Falcons lose,
if the Falcons win, I'm still going to rant. The chances are Kirk Cousins still threw 3 interceptions, and somehow we pulled it out of wrath.
But I mean, there are just some teams in the league, especially between the Raiders and Giants, where you're just looking at them and they're pushing, they're fighting, they're grinding, and you just feel they're going to F it up in some way, shape, or form. So they find
a way to lose.
So this was me to the quick story. This was me at a bar here in DC. I went down to this bar for Sunday afternoon brunch, tank bowl. And I was watching some games. I think they were showing the Panthers and Eagles. And after that game finished, they went over to some bonus coverage to show the Saints and the Giants. And the Giants had scored a touchdown. It's 14-11. They got the ball back, and they're fighting. They're competing. And I'm sitting here like, oh, the Giants they're going to mess it up. They're going to mess it up. And then they get into the red zone. Nah, the Giants are still going to mess this up. So, terrible red zone execution. Typical Giants there. And then here comes the field goal. Short field goal, Patrick. No 40, no 50-yarder. What happens? Some Saints 300-pound defensive lineman jumps over the offensive lineman and blocks it. And next thing you know, you see everybody on TV. You got people with paper bags on their heads talking about sell the team. You got a Giants fan just sitting here. I think she was crying. I really do. Because she just started. And I think they knew it in the stadium too. They're like, they're going to F it up. They're going to F it up.
Everybody knows.
And it's just it's crazy that's a bad place to be at where you just have no hope.
Remember several years ago when I would always make fun of Philly and finding
they ain't gonna outtake us. Yeah.
Nobody will outtake us. There's the Giants.
That was more the 76ers than anybody else. Remember, man, trust the process.
Trust the process. Trust the process. Nobody will outtake us.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna outtake us. And then they had that tank game where I think people scored like 80 something. It was like 80 something to 80 something. The game was over or something.
They were giving tickets away for almost free there when that was happening, man. It was so bad. And that's how I feel with the Giants and the Raiders. It's just these teams are close. You're watching the games, they do some good things, and then you're saying, well, they can't hold the lead. They don't hold the lead. Oh, looks like they could maybe take the lead. No, not gonna happen. And then here comes field goal. I remember sitting there myself. I said, I think this field goal is probably going to get blocked or the kicker's going to shank it. Sure enough, here comes my 300-pound New Orleans Saints defensive lineman Supermaning over the lineman.
Yep.
And blocking it. I just said, oh my God.
Well, here's what's sad.
What's that?
The Giants did beat Seattle.
Yes, they did.
Seattle did beat Atlanta.
Yes.
And we got to play the Giants in 2 weeks.
So you play the Raiders and the Giants.
We play the Raiders. Let me see. I got to see. I got to see where we're at.
You play the Raiders and the Giants.
Then we play the Giants. Like soon after. So we got the Raiders. Oh yeah, Raiders. So this is who we got left. Raiders, Giants, Commanders, Panthers.
Man, so if I just went over how the Raiders and Giants just know how to lose, and y'all lose to them, oh boy. Ugh.
And here's what's the sad thing about it is after a 4-game losing streak, we're still only 1 game behind. The NFC South sucks.
It's been a pretty brutal division. Absolutely. So you're still right there, and you got the tiebreaker over Tampa Bay because those are 2 of your wins. So if you get in a tie, I'll get that nod. Wow. Before we head on out, Patrick, let's go over to MLB and talk about this contract that Juan Soto got from the New York Mets. 15 years, $765 million. Look, for me, Patrick, lots of red flags here.
Yeah.
Number one, and this is besides the money. Obviously, there's no way he should be getting paid like he's the best player in the league. There's no way.
Hey man, if the Mets are willing to put a ring on it,
yeah,
because that's a marriage.
Yeah. But I mean, wow. It got to the point. Look, if the New York Yankees say we're not giving him that,
that's saying something.
That's saying something. That's one red flag. No, that's one red flag. Number two, here's the thing with Juan Soto. The Mets are his fourth. That will be his fourth team, Patrick. His fourth team. He was with the Washington Nationals, where he started his career with the Nationals. He got traded to the San Diego Padres, and then he was with the Yankees. And now he's going over to the Mets for all.
This is a short career, mind you.
Yeah, he's only 26 years old, y'all. Only 26.
Because he got drafted at 20, right? So in 6 years.
Yeah. See, his so I guess he's been in the system since 2018. In the national system since 2018. But you know how it goes in the major leagues, Patrick. Shoot, you can come right out of high school and do your thing. And so I mean, he's been in the majors for this will be going on his 18. You look at Aaron. Love it. He said, dude, why is people doing this Bobby Bonilla stuff? I know. I think Bobby Bonilla, I think he just got another paycheck. I really do. I just heard a ching-ching sound for Bobby Bonilla getting another $2 million check. So Aaron, Shohei's contract, if you look at the language, not that bad. Now the numbers say $700 million. I get it, but he's getting, it's something stupid, Patrick. Like he's getting $2-3 billion per year, and then there's going to be a lot of back pay. So
it's like direct. You're going to pay me this.
Yes,
$51 million a year. Like, where do the Mets get that money?
So I
probably got it from Miami with all that drug money. That's probably what it is.
And so, but there's no salary cap with baseball. So I mean, I know, and the Mets, like that dude. Now, one thing we know about the Mets and their owner, Steve Cohen, he's gonna pay. Like he will throw money out there. But this, even for him, this is
ridiculous.
This is at best bizarre. Like at best,
I think he's done it just to get him out of New York, out of the Yankee system.
Just,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I just for Juan Soto, and Juan Soto he hasn't done anything that's been spectacular like that, man. Like at least Shohei is having 50 homer, 50 stolen base seasons, and the man's
on top of that, giving you an extra pitcher.
Yeah, he's gonna pitch. Like once he recovers from the Tommy John surgery, he's gonna pitch, and he's still probably one of your top 5 pitchers in the league when he goes out there and pitch. That is what's crazy. Look, truthfully, if I'm the Yankees, this is how I'm feeling. Yeah, Soto's gone. You still got Judge. You still got Stanton if he ever stays healthy for a season. But if Stanton can stay healthy, you still got Punch in the lineup. I mean, the Yankees are still going to score runs, but they got Max Fried today as well.
Yeah.
So
that says a lot for the Yankees to go out and get pitching like that. You know what I mean?
I think they might be okay. I would rather do that. I'll get Fried before paying $750 million for Soto. I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
I would have told, and even then, I would have went with Fried anyway, because you know, as Yankees, they need pitching, and a lot of it, you know. And this just gives them their ace. You know what I mean? So now you build that roster around him and get you a couple more solid pitchers that they'll be fine. I like what the Yankees did actually with going to get him. Now I hate, you know,
that he went to the Yankees, of course.
Yeah, because you know, I will always look at Fried as a traitor. He's a traitor because he went to the Yankees. He's a traitor. And more so, he came from the Braves. So now he's double traitor.
So
don't care what the price is, trader.
So I'm
Trader Matt.
So I'm looking at Soto's stats here. I got him right here in front of me, and his it's more about, or it's more than just about home runs and strikeouts and stuff. We like to look at the rest of these stats here. But if we are going to look at the home runs, he had 41 homers last year, and he is a left-handed hitter. Now, in Yankee Stadium, Patrick, that right field porch it's like the court baseball crib. Like, I mean,
it's like hitting on a elementary ball field.
That is a left-handed hitter's dream. But 41 homers, that's the most homers Soto has had in his career in a season. Now he goes over to the Mets. Citi Field, still kind of a hitter's friendly park, but not like Yankee Stadium is. Not like that left-handed porch that they have in Yankee Stadium. It's nothing like that in Citi Field. And then I'm looking at just the other teams. So you paid all this money for Juan Soto. The Mets still aren't better than the Dodgers. The Dodgers just continuously add people too, and they are coming off a World Series. And I think it's very debatable if the Mets are even better than a healthy Atlanta Braves squad.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very debatable. You get Ronald Acuna Jr. back with that lineup, and the way the Braves were just kind of able to just kind of patchwork things because they had so many injuries. But they get who's the pitcher? Spencer Strider. You get Spencer Strider back with the way Chris Sale pitched this year. I think the Braves are going to be right back there. And I think they can be right back in at least the National League Championship Series.
And we got to talk about on top of that. So am I a little upset that we lost Free? Yeah, I mean a little bit, but you know what?
He's a good pitcher, dude.
He's a great pitcher. He was great at what he did. But here's the deal: it's like we're sitting on 6 pitchers in our farm league that could be really just as good with some experience. So I'm not worried about the Braves. When it comes to that, like there's a couple of teams that I just don't think the Mets would beat. I still think it's debatable that they're even better than Philly.
Yeah, it is debatable if they're better than Philly.
You know, and I don't think that they were better than Philly before they added Soto, and I really don't think they're better than Philly after adding Soto. Honestly,
but the Mets got high, and so they were able to beat the Phillies in the National League Divisional Series. So I think the Mets kind of heater. What's his name? Francisco Lindor. He was playing out of his mind. I mean, that dude had every clutch hit
that was imaginable.
Yeah,
he just played. When you bat 500 in the playoffs, something's going your way. You just can't miss. He was hot, and I don't think it would. I don't think it would be like that again.
And of course, with signing Soto, you lose Conforto. And where did he go to? The Dodgers.
Yeah. So if you can't, Dodgers is a sponge. They'll just pick up everybody else. Oh, you don't want him? We'll take him. Oh, you don't want him either? We'll take him. Who else? Who else do y'all not want? We'll take him.
and he's gonna beast. Dude, the Dodgers signed Blake Snell. Like, what do they need Blake Snell for? But they got Blake Snell.
Like I said. Who? Oh yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him.
Just what a bizarre contract. I did for Soto, man. Give me a break. Like I said, at best, that's bizarre. And just to address Aaron's comment before we wrap up, that Shohei, he's like hot.
That's just one of the best comments I've seen. The hot to a girl ruined viral moment. Hey, I love it. That is a good comment. I like it. Keep those coming. I like that.
Oh, the hot to a girl, man. It is about. All right, so Patrick, what is going on with Bro Epic?
So we are starting our Pop Darts challenge this weekend. So we'll have that going on this weekend. I had to wait for a couple of things to come in. So we're doing our Pop Darts challenge this weekend. We finished up our bucket golf challenge. So go check those out on all of our socials. Next year, after all the holidays, we are teaming up with a company called Boom Boom Room, and we're going to do what's it called? Dodgeball challenge. We're going to have to, I guess we're going to wait on our football challenge until next year because I can't get any of the kids to get here and do it. So I would probably say, since it's basketball season, start looking forward to a basketball challenge. I'll be writing that. And here it is, dude. The best one that of late. We are doing a pickleball challenge. That's going to be fun. So look forward to that one.
All right. And you mentioned the holidays. Like I pointed out earlier, we'll do a show next week, and then after that, we'll see. With the holidays coming, maybe we pop in with like a Friday show or something. We'll see. I'll talk to you about that, Patrick, to see how you feel it. But we'll do a show next week, and then I don't know.
We'll be off on the following week because that's Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve. Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know.
You might not see us back until the 7th unless we do a pop up on Friday, which we'll talk.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a little sporadic with BOFA Sports here, but why like start, especially at this point, we're retooling things. And Patrick was talking about it with this product with Bro Epic. We're gonna retool things. We're gonna look at things, look at different, just whatever demographics, however, right, and see how we can come back with better products, and continue to add to what we have, what we built for the new year. So be on the lookout for more announcements from both Bro Epic and BOFA Sports. And yeah, gonna be a fun few weeks just sitting back and retooling. And then when we get into 2025, yeah, gonna be a great year. So
It'll be a good year.
So so with that will conclude this edition of the BOFA Sports Webcast. Y'all make sure y'all visit the BOFA Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the BOFA Sports Facebook page. So tune in next week. We're gonna look at these first round games for the college football playoff. Fun times. These are on campus games. So you got these games in Austin, since we're hosting Clemson. Ohio State, they're hosting Tennessee. SMU is going to Penn State, and Indiana will go to Notre Dame. And these games start on December. Well, they have one game on December 20th. The other three will be on the 21st. So Patrick and I will pick that, and we'll have that with our Pick'em challenge that Patrick is winning by 2 games right now. So with that, everybody take care. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see y'all at this time next week. Y'all take care. Enjoy the games.